started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder. Couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder.
Hello and welcome to City Girls Make Do. I'm your host Alex, aka Sex and the Clitty.
I'm your host Stephanie, and I'm busy feeding my pussy.
And we have a friend with us today.
Hi, I'm Brooks, aka the Carrie Diarrheas. Like a,
oh my god,
you know,
a funny poop joke.
Yeah, I thought Sex
it.
and the Shitty was too on the nose.
Okay,
I like
I
that.
was Sex and the Clitty, so
Yeah. Speaking of on the nose this week.
wow, yeah. So there's been a lot of noses in places that are interesting. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show, Brooks. We had a fun episode for you to talk about with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, season 2, episode 3, aka The Freak Show.
I thought this episode was so fun. There was a point where I actually started like cackling, laughing at something, and I was like, "Oh my god, my neighbors are gonna hear me."
It was really good. I like to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen an episode of Sex and the City before this week.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Right.
Of
So if this is what it always is like, then it's pretty good.
I mean, it's not always this great, but when it nails it, it nails it.
Right.
And I think it kind of nailed it this week.
I think it did. Yeah, this was a really fun episode.
Shall we jump in then?
Let's jump
Absolutely.
in.
Okay, so we start for some reason with some like sepia tone footage of immigrants on Ellis Island in the turn of the century New York.
Carrie has some sort of problematic discourses in a lot of ways in this one.
Yeah.
Did Carrie do something problematic?
It is with a heavy heart that she relates first dates to the process of immigration and then refers to being single as like being part of a freak show for like 26 minutes.
Yeah, true.
That's another Sex and the City staple of just really shitty metaphors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what she does, and we're meeting all these people in a bar on a first date, and it's Samantha's first date with this guy who I didn't even catch the name of.
It's Harrison.
Oh, Harrison, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Harrison. Who Samantha points out, or Carrie points out in her VO, that he has steam baths with Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's like a super successful litigator, and he has like a 39th floor apartment, which is, I guess, super nice. And he invites her up to show her the view, which I'm guessing means his penis?
It's a sex one, I think.
Yeah.
His skyscraper? I don't know.
They do immediately do like dirty talk about like their knowledge of sexual harassment, which is not great.
It's definitely a choice. That's all I can say.
It's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're dirty talking about sexual harassment. He says that that's what his speciality's in, and that it's mostly older women like you being Samantha, who bring up the most cases, which is wild.
Yeah, that's a thing to say to someone during sexy talk.
I mean, you're already in a bad place with let's talk about sexual harassment,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a bad place, but Samantha's like turned on by it. She loves it. For
It's
some
Samantha.
Yeah,
though,
I'm learning in
so-
this scene that Samantha's kind of the horny one in the group.
she's a little bit horny until she gets told that she's old.
Right.
reason. Yeah.
Which, fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He says she must be at least 40. We find out that Samantha has been 31 for at least 5 years.
I love it.
And yeah, and this date just seems to get worse because she's like packing up her stuff and I'm Too Sexy is playing.
Uh-huh. It's the national
And
anthem
then-
of sex.
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
And then she opens a tiny little cedar closet and he's in there in like full gimp gear, I guess.
Yeah.
And he wants to be punished by Samantha, and even she's turned off by this.
Yeah, she's like, are you kidding? And he's like, slap me. And then I guess she just leaves. She just leaves him hanging there.
Right.
Yeah, it goes from bad to worse quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot happened within the first, 5 minutes that I couldn't really process it.
It's a go kind of episode.
Mm.
And I have a question, just as y'all are sort of the keepers of the lore here.
Of course.
Whereas I don't know shit. So Carrie's just writing about all of this, right? That's sort of the overarching, like she's writing all about Mr. Pussy in sort of a national column.
Oh, well, not national.
I think it's just New York,
Yeah.
which doesn't make it much better. But yeah, she's writing about her friends' sex lives.
And but we see at the beginning, she's walking around New York. She's a young independent woman, and like her face is like on a billboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like people
Yeah.
know it's not like a secret who's writing this about sex column. It's like, hi, I'm Carrie Bradshaw, and I write about all of my sexual escapades. What's up?
Yeah, and Big is the only person with a pseudonym, so...
Well,
Right.
Do you think that she's allowed to put pussy in the newspaper? Like, do you think she was allowed to call him Mr. Pussy in the newspaper?
I don't know enough about newspapers to say, yeah, I mean, I'm fucking 22. I haven't read print media
Probably
in
if
a
they put
while.
like a cat emoji after it, then they would be like, no, I'm talking about the cat. It's like how you can say hell in the Bible.
Okay.
True.
HE double hockey sticks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fair. Yeah, I just a lot happened for me in this entire episode, but it really throws you in heavy,
Mhm.
I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move over to a coffee table book du jour launch party. With everyone seems to be wearing black for
Yeah.
some reason. And yeah, Samantha's launching it. She does the PR for all these things. And she's telling them these stories about her horrible day. And is it Miranda who says that men are all freaks if they're single
Yes.
and over 30?
Miranda
Yeah.
is the one who gives Carrie the brain parasite in this episode by saying that all single men over 30 are freaks and it's law.
Yeah, she does. She does it twice. So, I mean, not great Miranda, but she's still pretty valid.
She's a cynical woman, I guess.
Mhm.
But it is kind of funny though, because she basically says like all men over 30 are freaks, and then Carrie's like, okay, but what about us? Because they're over 30 and single, and Miranda's just like, well, we're choosy. So
I mean, that's what I say to, I'm just picky. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. And yeah, Charlotte comes over and she says that she has a new boyfriend.
oh.
And his name is Mitch Saylor.
Nice full name.
Yeah, because she says full names so she can picture their monogram towels,
Yeah.
as Carrie mentions. Oh, God. This is a really good voiceover episode as well. There's a lot of good jokes. So Samantha points out that he goes by another nickname in New York.
Well, she takes them to the
which is
bathroom to tell them, because she can't tell them at the table. She has to go to the bathroom with them to say Mr. Pussy.
But she can barely wait to enter the bathroom door isn't even closed yet, and she turns 360 degrees around and says, he's Mr. Pussy.
That's, I have to say, like, as a woman in our secret rituals, whenever my friend goes, we need to go to the toilet, I know something is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this guy's called Mr. Pussy because his thing is he's really good at eating pussy.
Mm-hmm. You are what you eat, and he's Mr. Pussy.
It's true.
Yeah, sure. Oh, we get some good, like, nicknames and euphemisms for the act, because
Yep.
Charlotte hates the word pussy.
She hates it.
Yeah.
Get going down, eating out. Miranda says it should be eating in.
I don't. Shit.
There is also
though.
this, at this moment, my favorite character you might think that Mr. Pussy is my favorite character, but actually my favorite character is just the woman who stops shitting in the middle of their conversation, comes out, says, I love Mr. Pussy, washes her hands for half a second, and then leaves. She doesn't even wash her hands because she loves Mr. Pussy so much.
She's so excited. Yeah, she dated him for a month and it was, she came so hard she passed out, apparently.
Mhm.
That is wild.
Go to the doctor.
Right.
Just want it to happen.
I'm really confused when Miranda said they should call it eating in, because I'm trying to like imagine. I don't know. I feel
when
like
I was young.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I thought that the tongue went in.
I mean, the
for some
tongue
reason.
can go in, but that's not the main place it's going.
What's that gonna do?
Maybe his tongue is so long that it can reach their G spots, and that's why he's Mr.
Pussy's hitting those back walls with his tongue.
Yeah. He's doing an acrobatic fucking pirouette with his tongue and bringing it all the way back to
That just sounds like you would have like you know how when you like strain a muscle, like your tongue is a muscle when you think about
That's
it.
true.
Oh, looker.
He's dying to let everyone know his pussy opinions.
He is a pussy.
True.
Get it?
I get it.
He's Mr. Pussy.
Oh.
Cat.
Wow.
Anyway,
yeah, and so she came so hard she passed out, and she's basically just like, I like enjoy when she walks out, which is like, she dated him for a month and she's like fine that she's not with him anymore, but she's like, you're gonna have a fucking blast. So, yeah.
Yeah. When they leave, we see him.
Hell yeah.
And he's
Hate
just
this.
tonguing an oyster. Yeah.
This is the first time I watched this episode twice this week just because there was so much going on. But the first time I watched it, I really thought that they paid Mr. Pussy as an extra because I couldn't remember a time where he actually said a word.
No, he is mute. He does not say a single line.
He only speaks in the universal language.
Yeah, pussying. Everyone can do that. You got a tongue? Yeah, I don't know. He must have. Maybe they paid him as like a featured extra, but he didn't say a single line.
I on my rewatch, it is with a heavy heart that I announced that he does say "just relax" to Charlotte when he's under the covers briefly.
Oh, do you think that was for SAG?
So yeah. The union said, "We love this character, Mr. Pussy, but we have one demand that you have to change.
You have to pay him an extra $20 because he said a line."
The role of the century, really.
Yeah. Yeah, so Charlotte's like a little bit turned off, but she's just trying to block out the Mr. Pussy talk because she
Yeah.
likes this guy.
Oh, she's like, well, I don't want to date him. Like, what if I want more than just to have my pussy ate? And they're like, what more is there to have in a relationship? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
And what kind of conversation was Charlotte having off screen that like they seem to have chemistry? Because it looks like he's just poorly eating like aphrodisiacs and fruit.
True. We'll never know, I guess.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's the way to any woman's heart, is just eating fruit. At least you know he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's just to eat mashed potatoes with your hands.
It's sexual. Obviously. Huge
Match.
turn on. So after that, we move on quite quickly to Carrie going on a blind date. Or preparing for her blind date with a guy who's a documentary film director who made something about seagulls.
Yeah, have
for
seagulls,
PBS.
have seagulls ever been endangered anywhere? Because that's what his documentary is about.
Right.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
They just, I mean, wouldn't the issue be that they eat garbage and then it makes them sick?
Yeah, but I don't think that makes them endangered.
That's the issue with seagulls. No, that's the issue with seagulls, though. But anyway, I really love her line delivery where she's like,
She's really chewing the scenery on this.
she's like, documentary film, that must be fun. So it's strong choices, like I said, very strong choices throughout this entire episode. And then we find out he's a complete monster because he goes on a rant about how he hates seagulls. He just did it to get into action films.
He just wants to make money.
And then we get our freak show circus music.
Yes.
For the first time, I think? Yeah.
This is a wonderful theme throughout the whole episode. As she says, roll up for the man with no soul. That's it. The man with no soul. Because he hates seagulls, apparently.
I mean...
Well, I think it was
Everyone
more
likes
the
seagulls.
it was more like, I just want to make money and I don't give a fuck what you think about it. And I just he goes off about how he would like basically do like the shittiest jobs if it would give him $1 million because he just loves money.
To be fair, she dated Big for a year.
That's true.
And he is some clearly evil businessman, so Potkel.
That's true. Maybe Big wasn't so like openly callous about it, I guess, but he still clearly wants a shitload of money, but
Yeah, and then we move on to the second date with another guy. They're waiting in line at the movie theater. He seems normal until he goes on a huge rant with a guy behind them who is apparently standing too close.
yeah, he like full on yells at this guy.
Yeah,
I
it's a lot.
love how much you can say fuck on HBO. He said
Same.
fuck twice and called the guy a dick in the line, and I was so like, hell yeah, it's adult TV, folks.
Well, it's not TV.
It's HBO.
Same hat. Yeah.
So this guy is the man with two faces. I don't think that's that good, Carrie.
That's clever.
Yeah,
You're
not
so
her best
smart.
word.
No, these get progressively worse.
Yeah.
'Cause the last guy we see, he made $2 million in bonds, apparently, which is a lot of money. But he still steals used books for some reason. In fact, he is the man who steals cheap used books for no reason.
Yep, step right up. Come and see him.
Carrie cannot conceive of a rich person being selfish.
No, this is wild to me. I like the amount of every single time I've been anywhere and someone's been like, I'm not going to tip. I'm not going to spend an extra $2 on the. Why did I say dollars? Like I've been to America once. I'm not going to spend an extra like £2 on this. I refuse to spend money on anything. They've always been like, they've been rich. I know they have plenty of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is wild.
Carrie's also, during this date, she goes off by herself to read a book about the freak show.
It's a little
Having
on
an
the nose.
extremely normal date.
Yeah.
Well, they went for dinner and then they went to, I don't know, a bookstore that's open, a $1 like book market in the middle of the night. I don't know. I've never been to New York. Anyway, Carrie seems to be having a bit of trouble because is this when we get our question of the week?
Oh, it sure is. And this is the part that made me burst out laughing really loud because her question was so ridiculous this week that I screamed.
So funny.
Yeah, so she basically says maybe Miranda was right. And then she says maybe they shouldn't have outlawed freak shows because it kept all the freaks rounded up in one place instead of roaming free. And her question of the week is, are all men freaks? So just that's
Brooks,
it.
you're a man. Can you answer this question for us?
I don't know if I'm a representative for all of manhood, but I don't know.
Not all men.
And like, Mr. Pussy seems like a great guy. It's not. He's not rude. I would go as far as to say that he's generous.
I would say that his table manners are a bit impolite.
Well,
yeah.
So yeah, nobody's perfect. So so he's normal except for his table manners, and in that way he's maybe a freak, but.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting into,
It's like Chris Angel's a freak, but we still like him.
Do it?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Carrie ever date Chris Angel?
I would love that episode.
Jesus Christ. An episode where she dates a magician would...
Oh my God.
I think I'd lose my mind. We're too good. But yeah, Carrie's having a little bit of a crisis over these blind dates. And anyway, we move over to Charlotte in my favorite scene of the episode.
This is a
HBO,
really
I love it.
Yeah, a really good scene. Like he cares so much more about going down on her that she never even takes off her top like in any of the times that they are having sex or anything. Like, yeah.
And she's wearing like a knee-length skirt every single time so his head can go right underneath
He
it.
straps on a fucking snorkel and just goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
he sure does.
It must be, it's like full-on sauna because he's always underneath a sheet of some sort.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is muff diving to the extreme.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking X Games.
Oh, Tony Hawk's pro pussying 8.
Yeah, well, Mr. Pussy's favorite tricks in Tony Hawk are the lip tricks.
Oh fuck. Yeah, this is really good because like so Charlotte came harder than she ever had before the first night until Tuesday, and then until Wednesday, and then until Thursday, and then until Friday, and then until Friday, and then until Friday. And so on Friday, she saw God 7 times.
7?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, that seems like a lot of work.
That's a lot. And
Yeah.
we also got this really good close-up on her face, like the first time Mr. Pussy goes down on her, and it's just like, that's an Emmy.
Mhm.
But
we need to, did she win an Emmy? Did she win an Oscar?
she got an EGOT for that.
Yeah.
It'd be really good if Charlotte wrote like a Heaven is for Real kind of book, except instead of like having a near-death experience, she was just getting her pussy ate by Mr. Pussy. And then she saw God 7 times.
She should write
The
that book.
scrumptious fingers.
And she's like, that's the proof.
You're right. That is truly the only way to get close to God.
Mhm.
I
In my
feel like
experience,
it-
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, she's like a lapsed Presbyterian or something.
Mhm.
Episcopalian?
Episcopalian.
Episcopalian, which Carrie said is good for... She's like, oh, it's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. You know when, like, someone says... This is mainly a thing, I think, with lesbians, where they both have vagines, and one of them's like, oh, yeah, we both came, like, 8 times last night. And I'm like, that sounds so fake, because why are you not tired?
true.
You
That
know,
does sound
there's no-
fake.
It sounds fake. I'm like, okay, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, but 8?
Mm-hmm.
You're just showing off at that point.
Exactly.
True.
It's rude, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that to yourself. Don't lie to me. Don't give me false expectations.
Fair.
7 times. But
yeah.
good for her.
Yeah. But Charlotte's ready to join the circus now. Because
Yeah.
if Mitch was a freak, then hell yeah, freaks, I guess.
Yeah. This is better than American Horror Story.
American Horror Story, get your pussy ate?
Yeah, surprise, bitch. I bet this was the last time you thought you would come. It's the only thing I know about that show.
Yeah. I'm the supreme pussy eater.
True. Mm-hmm.
So where are we back? We're Carrie, and she's at the park after a disastrous dates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sitting at the fountain. Some
She's
guy
just having a
sits next to her.
sad sit, yeah.
Yeah.
As you do. Just sit around
I gotta
being sad.
say, this guy who sits down next to her is possibly like the most attractive guy that she's actually been with in the whole show so far. Possibly.
Oh, he's cute, but he's incredibly pretentious.
Oh, he's incredibly pretentious. Like, yeah, he's awful, but still.
I don't care for Ben.
No, me neither. He's cute, but he talks in like a very weird hushed tone of like he's going to start talking to me about, I don't know, French philosophers, and I don't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they start chatting, and she's like, I've been a terrible date, all men are freaks, and he's like, oh, women are freaks. I dated a woman who slept with her shoes on, which I wouldn't know about this story.
Yeah. I've fallen asleep with my shoes on before, but I wouldn't do that normally. But I don't wear shoes inside my house because I'm not an animal. So.
And yeah, they're flirting with each other. It's insufferable.
I'm so glad you said that. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to come in here and just be the. Nyeh. But their whole thing about like, oh, I'm gonna non-kiss you on our non-date and your non-porch. Like that was nails on
Yeah.
chalkboard.
No, it's awful.
No chemistry.
Yeah, it's like no, and it's like a really bad like rom-com, like an indie rom-com, like fucking Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist
Yeah.
2. Ugh.
It's bad.
Yeah, and we find out later he works for like a very hip political magazine, which made me want to roll my eyes until they went to the back of my head.
Yeah, Ben's a Chapo guy.
True. If this was 2018, he would definitely be on Chapo.
That's true.
Yeah. He would be the editor or something. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
The weird thing that Carrie finds out is that he's a host of Cumtown.
Oh, God. Have we declared Cumtown our mortal enemies yet?
You know what? I barely even know what they're about, and they're already my mortal enemies.
Yeah, I think
so.
just like by default, most people they could probably point to that as their mortal enemy.
Yeah. If you want a good podcast about sex and a good podcast about politics, then
Just go on
You go to
noisepace.xyz. And
Yeah.
you'll find like 2. Actually, you'll find multiple good podcasts, but you'll find really good ones about sex and politics. So,
True. Yeah. Not affiliated with Chapo or Come Down.
mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, they like Brooke said, they're doing this whole thing where it's like, oh, I would ask you out on a date, but I've sworn off dating. And then she's like, why don't we go on a non-date? And it's all mind-numbingly irritating.
He's like, is that a yes? And she says, well, how about it's a non-no?
Mm.
So
I'm just in the background making jerk-off motions. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, moving on. This sucks. Samantha is like wistfully looking into a window of a shop, and she sees like an old friend who just this is my favorite thing about any television show when like someone like a character is introduced and then immediately leaves and we never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, hi Samantha, I just got a facelift, anyway, bye.
Well, it's not she just got a facelift, but she got her ass put into her face, which is my favorite thing about it. Maybe that just is what a facelift is, but I don't know. But
I don't think they do that.
I don't know anyone who wants their face to be bigger, though. That's one thing I didn't get about this.
Well, when you get older, you lose like collagen. That's why people get fillers.
True.
Because it kind of makes you look more youthful if you have a bigger face.
It's also cold in New York, so I would imagine you might want to like, store up material in your cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, like a walrus.
Like a wall,
point.
yeah.
In the Hudson River.
That's why Samantha gets so upset at the plastic surgeon, because she's like, fuck, I still look like a person.
Yeah, it's like Tusk by Kevin Smith. That's her ideal ending. God, I never thought I'd be referencing fucking Kevin Smith movies on this show, but cool. Anyway. So yeah, she got the fat...
The Kevin Smith tweet about him and his wife having sex is the opposite of Mr. Pussy. That my wife still pones my wife's clit taint brown area still pones my dick after all these years. This episode would have been 2 minutes if Mr. Pussy was Kevin Smith, because they would have gone into the bathroom and said and left.
It is like massive jorts. Oh my god.
Thanks, I want to die now.
That would be so good.
I finish shitting and walk out of the stall and say, that's Mr. Jorts. Have fun.
You see Charlotte again, she's just in huge clothing for some reason. It's like way too big.
You're in a jorts haze.
And she's like, well, these jorts are comfy and I can see myself getting married in them. Anyway, where are we? Samantha? Yeah, so she thinks about getting plastic surgery.
She makes her first
her friend
appointment.
her friend looks young now.
And then we go back to Carrie and Ben, which is like, did we have to? But yeah, they went on their non-date and kiss outside her apartment, and he's like, well, this was a date. I'd want to get upstairs with you, but it's not a date, so I'm just gonna kiss you and leave instead. I hate it.
Yeah, this shtick didn't need to be carried on for the actual date at all, but it did, and I hate it.
Yeah, and it's dark, so you can't even really see that he's at least cute at the same time, so it's like, it's just insufferable with no perk. So.
Like their conversations are not significantly deeper than Charlotte and Mr. Pussy. Like they're just doing the same shtick.
Yeah, except he doesn't eat pussy that good.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, he's cute though. He's like a hot Chandler Bing.
Yeah, because he kind of looks like a kind of like a nerd guy with the glasses, but then at the same time he's like a little bit tall, broad shoulder kind of guy. I don't know.
He's like ripped and 6'2", but he's wearing shitty glasses. So you're like, he's approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway,
that guy looks like he has opinions about Foucault, I say.
I mean, he does.
And then he does.
Yeah.
I hate when we say something at the same time. But we do that a lot. It makes it really hard to edit.
Sometimes I just leave it in because it's good.
Yeah. Then we're back at, I guess, Carrie's, and they're having like a girls' night in. Carrie is wearing knee-high rainbow socks, which I was into.
It's really good.
Yeah. And Samantha shows off her girdle because she's had the Shut the fat out of her butt.
Hey, there's no more fat in my ass, and I have a girdle with a piss hole. What's up, girls?
Well, it's a piss and
Well, she
a
said-
vag hole, I guess.
Right, pissing, etc., she says.
Yeah.
It's that latex bodysuit with the pussy zipper, but
It
like
must be-
horrible.
It must be a big hole if it lets her do both.
Well, I'd imagine she needs to go number 2 as well.
Just a
Oh,
huge
true.
zipper from belly button to the small of your back.
Yeah.
It's got one of those pussy
'cause
zippers
she-
on that thing from Tumblr with the girl who had the pussy zipper suit.
I just said that.
Oh, you did?
the pussy zipper.
I'm deaf.
This is you. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
Like we said, we're opposites. I have really strong glasses, and you can't hear anything. So
Yeah, that's
together,
true.
we work together. But yeah, she had sex with a Calvin Klein model wearing this like full body Spanx thing.
Queen.
Really, honestly,
off.
queen. Maybe she snapped.
I believe that's going to be a wig from me.
Wow, the icon jumped out.
Yeah.
The behavior she displayed was iconic.
And that's what Carrie says in the scene.
This show would be so much better if Carrie just randomly said wig. It was never brought up.
It
She's
should
just like
be.
really, really hip with slang. Yeah. And yeah, Samantha's super excited about it. And I don't think... I think she said the fat is in storage until it can be implanted into her face.
Right.
Yeah. Just get... I don't know. Just get some Botox. There's nothing wrong with that. It's less invasive. Just get some Botox.
Get some Botox.
Just get some Botox. Who cares? I did think this was going to be the episode where she got the chemical peel.
Oh God, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're just recycling plot lines, but...
They do have a tendency to do that. They have a tendency to recycle plot lines and also like occupations of the guys they date. So
They're all like writers or like architecture
or
people.
they're like
What?
brokers.
An architect? There we go.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
And yeah, Charlotte starts talking about how she's really falling for Mr. Pussy.
Yeah.
And they hate it.
They do
Yeah.
hate it. Samantha's like, you do not fall in love with Mr. Pussy. Which
I mean, you don't.
But like so like Samantha's like Charlotte has committed the ultimate sin by bogarting Mr. Pussy. And like it's I don't know. It's fine. You know? We got one
Yeah.
life to live.
yeah.
Isn't that a soap opera?
And it's just like let Charlotte come. Like just be supportive.
Support your friends, but also Charlotte was the one who was like, I don't want to marry a guy who is known around town for being called Mr. Pussy.
That's valid.
Which is true.
But imagine if you're the one who locks down Mr. Pussy though, and everyone
Yeah.
knows that you got that under wraps. Like
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
just walking into parties like John Wayne.
know.
And Samantha brings up a good point of have they even fucked, she says. Which brings her to the, like, they've been dating for weeks. And they've only had oral sex.
Yeah, a few weeks, and they've never even like gone to dinner or to like. Carrie's like, have you gone to a play? They haven't done anything other than hay mowing. So
All he wants to do is mow hay.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a mood, but you know, be multifaceted. You know,
Have hobbies that aren't mowing hay. And Charlotte is also wearing, like, do you remember those like undershirts you would wear when you were a little kid?
yeah.
She's wearing like a camisole that's like white and lacy and has a little bow on the front.
It's cute.
It's cute, but I also did wear that when I was like 6.
That's true.
Yeah. It's a weird choice for underwear as outwear.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough with the fashion talk, because there's not really any like real looks this episode.
Not really. Yeah, not
No.
really. Just the socks, and they're all wearing black earlier, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was a eulogy for Charlotte's pussy.
R.I.P. Yeah, and then Charlotte storms out of Carrie's place.
Yeah, because Miranda says she's not having a relationship, she's having multiple orgasms. But I mean, she's just not wrong, but
No.
it is a little bit rude to say maybe. Like, let her have her fun.
They're kind of on the offensive, and, like, Charlotte's going to work this out on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a child,
True.
we say. She is dressed like a child.
That's true.
But, yeah, that's it. She just storms out. Anyway.
I really hated the next scene.
We're on a double non-date now.
This is awful. This is just like
It's a nightmare.
This guy. So Ben brings his friend Luke to go on a date with Miranda because they go on a double date, and this guy is even more insufferable than Ben.
This guy will really tell you about Foucault. He's oh my god, he's got a fucking essay. He's gonna show you his dissertation. Like, he's definitely studying philosophy or like French lit or Russian lit, perhaps.
Well, why would he study Russian lit? Because that's out of Manhattan. Why would he?
True. He's I know who he is. He's the fucking guy who's like obsessed with beatniks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
He's gonna be like, have you read, On the Road? And I'm like, yeah, of course I have. Everyone has.
Yeah, everybody's been in 8th grade before. Thanks.
Also, that guy killed his wife. So, like, Jack Kerouac fully killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's very into like Americana bullshit.
Yeah.
I do love how fast these half-hour shows move, because I also didn't know like how long Sex and the City was. So this is like, this is like in the second half of the episode, and it's just like Miranda goes up to Luke and says, "I'm going to Connecticut this weekend," and he goes, "Oh, Connecticut, ugh, gross," and like that's all you need.
I know how like you and Eddie can get 2 episodes of JoJo done, and like. We really do spend like an hour a week talking about 1 episode of Sex and the City because there's just a lot to
There's
unpack.
significantly less going on in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's really only looks in that one.
Yeah, I mean, you think it'd just be looks in this.
Nobody fucks in that show. It's awful.
If you combine the 2, I think you would have the perfect show.
That would be wonderful.
Carrie's Bizarre Adventure?
But this guy, Ben, I knew he was a bad egg because his favorite ice cream is strawberry.
Awful.
I do like strawberry, but it's not my favorite.
I mean, it's not the best if we're talking like a classic Neapolitan.
If I was going Neapolitan,
Strawberry's kind of trash.
I'd probably pick strawberry over the other 2 in Neapolitan, but if I was given a choice of like all the ice cream flavors, I would pick like 10 flavors before strawberry.
Of course.
Yeah. And yeah, Samantha is just, I'm going to go visit my grandfather in Connecticut. And he's like, ugh, Connecticut fucking sucks. And it's, why would you say that to someone who just says they're going to visit their grandfather?
Yeah, because Miranda is basically just like, okay, well, what's wrong with Connecticut? And he says he hasn't left Manhattan in 10 years because he hates the country, and basically there's no reason to leave Manhattan because everything is there, like all the culture in the world is in Manhattan. And Miranda's like, are you proud of that? Like, I don't get this.
Connecticut is like, didn't we check, and it's like an hour away? It's not exactly the fucking stick.
I wouldn't even call it the country. It's more like just suburban rich people, isn't it? Like,
I think so. It's where Gilmore Girls is, so that's just what I imagine it's like. I've seen Gossip Girl. I know what Connecticut's like.
I definitely thought Gilmore Girls was set in like North Dakota or something, but I've never seen it. So that's what I thought. I just assumed it was somewhere that was like, I don't know.
Oh, whatever. Don't at us. Truly. Yeah, and like Miranda is so put off by this that she uses a secret code phrase her and Carrie developed, which isn't really that secret, which is, I need to go feed my cat.
Yeah.
It's a really bad date code.
It's very obviously like an escape. Like, I don't know.
It's not like, oh, my sister just called me and, she needs me to come over. It's an emergency. Do you need to feed your cat in the middle of the day?
It's also just confusing because it's so close to I have to go take care of my cat, which is what Mr. Pussy says when he wants to get out of a situation.
True. Well, I mean, Miranda could be the real pussy eater here for all we know.
I mean, she is.
True. That's true.
Listen, we have a question. I will get into it. My theories.
I can't wait.
And the truth. Prepare yourself. Anyway, Carrie is like, didn't you already feed your cat? And
that's a shit move when your friend's trying to get out. Like, this is bad, Carrie. I don't know.
And they made it clear that this is like pulling the ripcord. This is a full no. Mm-hmm. And Miranda like pulls her aside and is like, this dude sucks fucking ass. I don't want to speak to him anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when they go off to the side, the guy is like, cat people are freaks when they walk.
And Miranda just gives him the biggest glare of all time.
It's good.
Yeah. But this is where she kind of puts a spell on Carrie, and she says that if his friend is weird, then he's weird.
I hope people don't judge me based off of my friends.
Same.
Yeah, true. But I mean, they'd be judging me off of you guys, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I definitely have friends who do weird stuff. Mm-hmm. But I will tell them it's weird because I'm their friend.
True.
And I'll just be like, that's fucking stupid, don't do that. I'm not a great friend.
Come on, dude, stop eating oysters like that.
Imagine if you... I'm sorry, if I had a friend who was like, you know, eating out an oyster, I think I'd give him a quick smack on the ear or something. Mm-hmm. In public... I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. Also, who eats oysters anymore?
I know.
Yeah.
What are you? Are you made of money? I ain't got oyster money. So Miranda leaves now.
But Carrie stays, I guess, with Ben, and they go back to his place that night, and they bone.
Well, before they bone, they share secrets, I guess.
Awful.
So she's like, you can't be perfect. And he's like, I'm not. And he shows her a tattoo he has of Tweety Bird on his arm. Mm-hmm. And then her one, this is very, you remember in the Avengers where the Hulk is like, I turn into a giant green monster and kill people. And then Black Widow is like, I'm sterile. And that's comparative.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a stupid shitty tattoo. And she's like, I have a scar on my knee.
I got 3 stitches in 3rd grade, so I guess I'm not perfect. What?
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about? I'm sorry.
It's really stupid. I was like, what the fuck are you even trying to say?
Like, you can reach your 30s without getting a stupid tattoo. Mm-hmm. You probably can't reach your 30s without getting, I don't know, a scar of some manner. Mm-hmm. So weird.
Yeah, but I guess he gets over it. It's no big deal to him. And...
What a hero, honestly. What an icon.
Puts it aside. He doesn't give a shit that she's got a scar on her knee. They bone
a gentleman.
He makes like the thick wife Instagram post, but it's about his girlfriend with 3 stitches in her knee.
Like,
I love her in spite of her imperfections.
That was truly the most gross thing. When he's like, even though my wife is disgustingly obese, and she was like, I don't know, maybe a size 14 or something. Mm-hmm. She was not big at all. Mm-hmm. And he's like, even though my wife is fat. And I was like, dude, stop talking shit about your wife. You're meant to be attracted to your wife, idiot.
You cracked the code.
Genius. If you didn't think your wife was hot, then that's kind of a mistake on your part.
Oops.
Oopsies. Men be like, I hate my wife.
I hate my wife.
That classic man shit.
That's been comedy that was comedy for like 4 years. I just fucking hate my wife.
Wait, only 4 years? That's not funny
4T.
anymore? Oh, 4T.
No.
Yeah.
It's not funny anymore, no.
Really?
Unless you're Tim Allen.
It's hilarious.
Anyway, tune in for Last Man Standing on whatever the fuck, Fox. I don't know.
And we're back to Mr. Pussy.
We are back. Are we back?
We're back to Mr. Pussy, baby.
Oh yeah, because it's while Miranda was feeding her pussy, Charlotte was doing anything but.
This is so good.
It's pussy for me.
It truly. That's what's on the menu. We have this like shot of some like papayas and every yonic shaped fruit just passing by.
Yep.
And Charlotte's trying to make conversation. She's, you know, what he does, where he grew up, etc.
And he's just fucking pretending to roll a joint with her labia. It's so good.
Oh no.
Weed pussy.
Yep.
Well, he is like licking it like a frog and making eye contact with her.
Uh-huh.
She's horrified.
He's not going to strain his tongue with talking. He only uses it for one thing. It rules.
Yeah.
He's like an athlete.
Yeah.
You know how if you're a runner, you only run.
True. He does use it for one thing. He uses it to tell the waiter that why isn't there any moose meat on the menu?
Okay. You need to stop calling. I mean, don't ever stop, but
Speak your truth.
every single time you call it a moose meat vagina, I lose my mind.
It's my favorite Cherry Poppin' Daddy song.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, this is... I'm so glad you're on this episode. Okay, great.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm never gonna eat a fig again after this, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What does a fig look? I've never seen a fig look like a vagina, but it's just a fruit.
They're wrinkly, I guess. I don't know. That's all I can think about. That's the only thing I can describe a fig as.
And yeah, the circus music plays again.
Yeah, this is disgusting. Like, I can't even watch this as he's like licking, eating, munching this fig. I can't.
No.
You know, it's not for anybody else but Charlotte.
That's fair.
He's an intimate
Yeah.
man. What can I say?
True, he's loyal.
What would you do though if you were like at the restaurant and you could see a man doing this at the table, like to his girlfriend?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I would make one of those obnoxious live tweets about
I'd
it.
be like, oh, Monsignor, please, my finest wine to that table.
I would just take a video of it and be like, is this allowed? And
What the fuck?
And then the internet thinks they're mannequins.
Yeah.
For a whole day.
definitely a mannequin.
That was so dumb. I love it. It's not allowed because they break up.
yeah. She stayed at the
Sad
circus
face.
too long, so.
Yeah. I looked on the Wikia and it seems like Mr. Pussy does not come back, unfortunately.
on the Sex and the City Wikia.
Yeah.
Does he have like a list of aliases on his page? Like status alive, aliases Mr. Pussy, Mitch Sailor, like
Alive.
yeah.
On fucking Villains Wiki.
Well, if you go on the Riverdale wiki and you look at like Cheryl Blossom's page, it's like race, human, status, alive, nickname, or like different occupations, student, cheerleader, gang member, and you're like, do we need this? But
I love when it says human because I'm instantly like, are there non-humans in this universe?
Luke Perry.
Luke isn't human. No, you're right.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, in this
Manhattan
show. I thought
guy.
you meant yeah.
he is not human. He's a lizard person if I've ever seen one.
He lives in the sewers.
But I think this is the last we see of Mr. Pussy, so
Yeah.
I think we should all have a moment of silence, a 21 gun salute.
21 cum salute.
Like the gums in his mouth that were on Charlotte's labia.
Yeah. He is like a lizard person, but he's like the alien monster in that he has a secondary set of lips inside of his mouth that he uses.
A labia majora and labia minora then.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
We will never
Are we
forget
moving-
his service.
We would... No. Thank you for your service. A hero
Your lip
to all of us.
service. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good
There we
one.
go.
Shall we go and see Samantha?
I think
Yes.
you should.
Okay, so she's at the surgeon's office and she loves her new face and we don't get to see it because apparently, according to Samantha, the doctor's office is like Barney's and while you're there, you might as well shop.
Right.
Okay. So she asked the doctor, hey, what else could I have done? And he basically stands there for a few minutes and just starts telling her all the work she could have. And doing the classic plastic surgeon pen moves on her body and face. And then the doctor leaves the room because he had a call. So she goes up to the mirror and like immediately bursts into tears when she sees all these improvements that could be done to her.
And the circus music starts playing again.
Yeah. I can't... Did Samantha get a freak show nickname? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Step right up and see the woman with her ass in her face.
That would have been good, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. That's kind of the end of her story. It's a bit lackluster. She gets sad because, achieving perfection is impossible, and the standards for women are high. It's really a critique.
That's true.
Yeah, this is like Joan Didion part 2. She's shaking. We're coming for our gig, girl. Anyway, as we move on from the plight of women in the 21st century, we move to Carrie and Ben in the morning after.
It is the most suspicious shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't blame her for what happens next. I mean, I do and I don't.
But I mean, to be fair, so like they're making out, Carrie and Ben, and then in the middle of it, he stops and says, "I have to go to my soccer game. I'll be back in 2 hours." Like, what?
And then he's just like, "Stay here so that when I get back, you'll be here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You think she doesn't have stuff to do?
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't, but...
But it's still rude to assume.
Yeah. And just waiting around for you. It's horrible being in someone else's place when they're not there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's also, I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, well, like, this is, like, the first time she's been to his place, and he just leaves her alone there, which is a little bit weird, but...
It's a bit weird. So, Carrie is like, yeah, he's a bit too perfect, so I wonder what his fucking damage is. Oh, I know. I'm going to start looking through his stuff.
And also start smoking inside of his house.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what everyone was doing.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, though, if he's not
He
a
looks
smoker...
cool.
It does look super cool, though. That is the thing.
I genuinely thought she was gonna like the cigarette was gonna catch on a blind and like set his apartment on fire.
Same.
No, it's just the 90s and everyone smokes indoors.
Well, she looks like a rabid dog, basically, because she, like, has it hanging out the side of her mouth while she, like, ravages through his things.
Fucking J. Jonah Jameson.
And she's wearing, like, his shirt, which, this is another stupid thing, where his shirt shouldn't be this huge on her.
Yeah, he's not that big.
It's like a full-on dress, and he's not that big. I mean, he's a tall and built guy, but this is huge. Anyway, she's like, oh, it started innocently enough. I just want to see what he ate and what music he listened to. And then she's pulling out his clothes from his drawers and going through pretty much everything, ransacking his apartment. And then she finds this box, a little locked wooden box, and she starts trying to pry it open with, I guess, like a letter opener or something.
It's so fucked up because she's like, this could have old love letters or maybe a marriage license in it. He's in his fucking 30s. He's allowed to like have been in a relationship or even a marriage before.
Yeah.
No.
But no.
He did not exist before her.
And he will not exist after her, it turns out.
No, because we never see or hear from him again. The reason of this is because he comes home as she's prying open this box.
Right.
And he's like, I came home from my soccer game because I wanted to spend time with you.
So was he fucking doing an encore? Like he was going off stage for 5 minutes, but then being like, all right, I know you still want me.
Apparently, yeah.
Maybe he had to go tell his friends that he was gonna stay home. I don't even know. It makes no sense.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to smashing my girlfriend who writes about sex for a national newspaper.
I hope nothing bad about me ever comes out of that. Yeah, he comes. I mean, he seems like he was gone for a while, so maybe he, I don't know, got a cab and then was like, actually, my dick's not wet enough. Turn around.
How am I supposed to play soccer in this condition?
I need to empty my balls. That was a bit much.
That's what he says.
I'm reining myself back.
Wait, so he had to pee?
And he opens this box, which apparently was just like a slide top, which Carrie didn't figure out. So,
And Carrie's as dumb as a fish, so...
it's like when you give a fucking, like a monkey a box, they'd figure that out quicker than her. Anyway, and it has his old Cub Scout badges in it.
Which confirms my suspicions that he's actually all right, this guy.
He's okay.
He runs a political newspaper. He's blasted, but he's got glasses. He's got Cub Scout badges. He plays soccer. All the signs are there.
Okay, Eminem. Yeah, he's a good guy. Carrie feels pretty terrible, clearly. And she's like, I should leave. And he's like, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Clearly. And she leaves. I'm assuming she puts her clothes on before she leaves.
Well, we see her on the street, and she's got a jacket on with clothes on, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. While she's saying some real shit.
She does.
She's saying some truly real shit.
Yeah, this is where she turns into Eminem. Because she says, it wasn't just men. We're all freaks. It's equality.
It's equality.
She says, thank you for going on this 25-minute journey with me. If you're single, you're a freak. This has been Sex in the City.
If she breathes, she's a freak. Yeah, and she said if the world's fattest twins can find love, then so can we all. Which, a bit rude to the world's fattest twins.
We need someone who can kiss our 3 heads and make us... You have a bruised knee.
She has a tiny little scar on her knee, which you can't see because of this 1999 fucking production quality.
True.
Yeah. Also, like... She's like, yeah, I'm a freak. I have a scar on my knee. Not that she just can't handle relationships. And she writes about her friends' sex lives every week. Yeah. I feel like that's the issue, Carrie. But anyway.
Go off.
How many more seasons we got? 6 in a movie? 2 movies? Great.
She does end, her big conclusion, which I like a lot, is she's like, we need somebody to kiss our 3 heads, but if not, we'll always have the city, which is just the entire thesis of Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. She just comes to the same conclusion that Anthony Kiedis did when he wrote Under the Bridge. You could have replaced this closing monologue with sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend, but the city I live in, the city of Angels. Well, you'd have to change City of Angels, but other than that, it all checks
it's
out.
Like a guy who's really into the Red Hot Chili Peppers and a girl who's really into Sex and the City are not, incomparable.
It's a similar vice.
2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah. You want to that? Is that what you want to put your time and effort into? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the city is the 5th girl, as we all know.
It's just like how the island is the 50th character on Lost. So
yes,
I think that's it. Sadly,
that's the episode.
So what's our ratings?
Charlotte is obviously the top this week. Like, Mr. Pussy is the top, but Charlotte is Mr. Pussy adjacent, so she's the top. Miranda's probably the next top because she has to go feed her pussy. She doesn't do anything else, but that's it. I feel like then Samantha and then Carrie was last because of just the whole story was bad with Carrie. So
Brooks.
I mean, of course you gotta put Charlotte on top. Just again because of the Mr. Pussy adjacency. It's like the ludicrous adjacency picture. Like she's right up there with Mr. Pussy. Probably the most distant from Mr. Pussy is probably Miranda, so I'd have to put her at the bottom. This is my only experience with Miranda, so I've never seen any other episodes, and I imagine that sometimes she's like happy or things go her way every now and then. Never?
No.
Bummer. Well, unfortunately, that continues because she's at the bottom of my list. So number 2. So okay, Charlotte's on top. Number 2 is probably Samantha because she stood up to the weird man on the 39th floor. She decided she ran into her friend, the 6th girl, about getting a facelift. That was very cool. And then the doctor put on the mean mask from the Twilight Zone episode and made her look bad, and she was very sad about it, but she got over it.
Yeah.
And Then third is Carrie because she's the main character, so I would feel too contrarian if I just like came on this one time and put her at the bottom. And then 4 is Miranda.
I mean, we usually put Carrie on the bottom, so
I'm not a Carrie. I've been listening to the backlog of City Girls Make Do and watching this episode, and I don't think I'm her.
who do you think you are?
Which girl do you think you are? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I sound like I'm being congratulatory, but I'm thinking more of my youth group upbringing, I think, makes me a Charlotte.
We've had a lot of Charlottes on the show.
I vibe with her more than I think I would other folks, because I feel like we would have a lot to talk about, where it's like, hey, did you check out the new David Crowder Band album? And she'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think obviously Charlotte's at the top. She got her back blown out.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did. And then, yeah, I think I would go with Samantha maybe, and then Miranda, and then Carrie.
Yeah.
I mean, Miranda kind of is she kind of spurs on the plot, but Carrie is the one who takes it too far.
True.
And this guy's fucking insufferable. I hate him. So.
The worst. I saw that I looked at like a listicle of ranking all of Carrie's boyfriends on the show just to see what people apparently, like, Ben was ranking pretty high. He was like 6 of 28 or something like that.
If anything, that should just tell you about the boyfriend she has and will have.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I saw a mention of Vince Vaughn, and then I just X'd out of the article because I can't even deal with that conceptually.
I'm guessing Aiden was probably number 1.
Was Aiden number 2? It's either Big or Aiden. I mean, Aiden's the true number 1 and Big is the true worst. Maybe Burger. Burger fucking sucks. Anyway, my number 1 is John Slattery. He didn't do anything wrong.
Well, he didn't get to do anything wrong.
Yeah, we tackle water sports later on. It'll be great.
Excellent.
Shall we move on to questions?
I think we should move on to questions. Yeah.
If you want to send us questions, then you can send them to citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. That's where we're taking them this week. And first up, we have a lot of questions.
We can blow through them. I think some of them are kind of fast. Yeah.
Yeah. First one is from Jane Funder, friend of the show, who asks, what action movie would be most improved by swapping the main characters with the girls? P.S. Can't wait for you to reach the episode with the Leonardo ex machina.
I don't remember what this is about.
No, me neither, so I'm excited too.
But action movie.
I misread this and I thought it was like recast action movies with the girls. So I do have a short list.
Okay.
I have Miranda as Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise.
Yes.
Obviously. It's not really an action movie, but Samantha is definitely in Basic Instinct. Carrie is in Fatal Attraction. And then Charlotte is in The Hunger Games. I would love to see Charlotte kill someone.
I mean, yeah. Same.
The other ones, I can see killing someone, but Charlotte, I can't picture that one, so. And no. I guess The Expendables.
See?
Do you remember when they were gonna remake The Expendables, but with like an all-female cast? Does anyone remember this?
Did not
Sounds
see
vaguely
that.
familiar.
And then it never happened, and I was like, there have not been that many action films starring women as not damsels, so good luck, but it just never happened.
I would love to see Mr. Pussy as Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I would love to see Miranda as John Wick.
Ooh.
That would be very good.
What if they were all Keanu action movies?
Oh.
So we have like The Matrix, Point Break, John Wick, and then Speed.
The thing is, I'm imagining Miranda in all of these because she's the only one I can imagine with her hair like slicked back and looking badass in a suit. So
Oh my god, and like the tiny little Matrix sunglasses.
Oh, so good.
I would love that.
Yeah.
God. No one pulls out like some Charlie XCX 1999 era fashion.
True. I would love to see Charlotte in like Kill Bill.
True. Yes. Don't think yellow is really her color, but I'm with you.
Whoa, and she would have the pussy wagon. Oh, yeah.
And then when she meets that guy who has a foot fetish, she can wiggle her big toe.
That's very true. This all fits into place very nicely.
Yeah. Any other action movies we can think of?
No, I'm still thinking about Austin Powers.
That's pretty fair. That's valid.
It's a good
pussy,
choice.
baby. That's what he would say. I wasn't saying it.
And then his like chest hair, instead of the shape of a penis, his chest hair is in the shape of a vagina.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm just thinking about now? How funny was Austin Powers?
It's really funny.
Good.
It was a really funny movie.
It
Three
holds up
movies.
genuinely.
Uh-huh.
Unironic voice, it holds up.
Mhm.
And then Beyonce's in the third one. So I think I should just rewatch Austin Powers.
I wholly think that you should.
They're really good. Like I can't watch those movies. Like, you know the scenes they do where there's like a silhouette and it looks like they're doing something that they're not doing. Like, I
yeah.
cannot watch those scenes without dying of laughter.
It's
like,
so
they're
funny.
so funny. Uh-huh.
It looks like she's like jamming a tennis racket up his ass, but it's actually just a bag that's next to him. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
it's
This
hilarious.
is an honest to God genuine recommendation for Austin Powers.
Like, genuine. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you should go watch this shitty Adam Sandler movie from the 90s. And like, you objectively you shouldn't, but like Austin Powers movies are funny.
It's true. I mean, I don't know if you can trust me. Like Zoolander, I would probably literally put in my top 5
No
movies
doubt.
of all time. So like, I
Zoolander.
don't know how good my
Zoolander
opinions
is
are.
truly funny.
The gasoline fight is like the first time I truly laughed in my life.
No, truly. Well, my literal Instagram bio is a quote about the gasoline fight accident. So
Good.
that's how funny I think it is.
Wait, that's in like the same era and place as Sex and the City.
That's true.
What if
True.
so maybe one of them could date Derek?
Oh, which one would date Derek?
Samantha did fuck a model in this episode, so
That's true.
Oh,
there you go.
uh-huh.
The true crossover, the fucking
Yeah.
most bravest crossover of all time, or whatever.
Samantha dates her. Samantha with her boyfriend last week was like, "What is this? A penis for ants? It has to be at least 10 times bigger than this."
Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Next one. Can you rank... Oh, wait, sorry. This is from Dear McCracken on Tumblr, who asks, can you rank the main girls by their gay energy? Yes, we can.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Miranda, we said this before, has some very fierce lesbian energy. In fact, it's in the second episode.
Yeah. Miranda's got some big.
Big strap-on energy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got that going on. After that, I mean, well, part of me wants to say Samantha because Samantha does have a plot later in the show that leans on this. But part of me also wants to say I feel like I could imagine Charlotte with a girl.
Me too.
So
I mean, we have the Power Lesbians episode coming up, which has some strong gay vibes
Yeah.
from Charlotte.
all I know is that Carrie is at the bottom of the list.
Carrie is so heterosexual. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Unfortunately heterosexual.
I think that's
That.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's too straight to function, unfortunately, for her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our list.
Yeah.
There's a murky line between Samantha and Charlotte, but Miranda is definitely at the top, and Carrie's definitely at the bottom.
Mhm.
So thank you. Next one is also from Dimmerkraken, who asks, which lady pop star of the last 10 years would be each of the girls' favourites?
I feel like Carrie's would be like Meghan Trainor or something.
Oh, wow. That's kind of mean. That's a little bit harsh.
Oh, I called it like I sees it.
Do you think she'd write like an article about how Meghan Trainor, she'd either write an article about how Meghan Trainor is like skinny shaming or she's the most woke feminist pop star of the last 50 years?
Yeah, it would be one of the two with no in between.
No. It'd be one week and then the next one the next week.
Sure. I feel like Samantha would be Nikki, maybe.
Nikki? Maybe.
Maybe.
But I think it might be Beyonce. She might be a classic
Yeah,
lady.
She could be a classic, or
And I
Rihanna,
thi-
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like Miranda would appreciate someone who's very organized. You know,
True.
Charlotte's like a huge Taylor stan, yeah?
Oh
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think, and she was definitely like a little bit pissed off about her latest Instagram post.
Oh,
but-
yes. She was on board with
She-
everything up until that point.
Yeah.
But, you know, she is unfortunately a Republican. I don't think that Charlotte is like that terrible of a Republican.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I saw that on her wiki yesterday.
She's a Republican.
Under her species, it doesn't say human, it says Republican.
They're not human.
Well,
He lives with a lizard person in the sewers.
It's true. I mean, it's truly the most lukewarmest take. I feel like Charlotte would still have something to say about it. And then who's Samantha? Who's Queen? I mean, I guess I was going to say Queen Bee, which I guess would be Beyonce again. Everyone likes Beyonce.
That's true.
Definitely, maybe someone who's like a little bit older. Maybe someone like Britney, Madonna. But she's not recent enough. But it'll probably just be Madonna. She has the sex book, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Madonna's relevant? Question mark.
Big question mark. I don't know.
Big question mark.
she did the Super Bowl.
True. And then MIA gave the finger, so
Yeah.
that's all I remember about that. Maybe Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah, I could very see Lady Gaga being up there for her.
She goes to like Art Rave. Oh, she definitely went to Art Rave. Yeah, you're right. And she bought that Tony Bennett album, which like no one listened to.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephanie.
It's good.
Did anyone listen to that? I didn't.
I don't think so.
No.
No. No. Anyway, thank you for those questions. I believe that's a friend of the Discord show, Jules. So thanks, Jules. Next, we have another Discord friend, my name twin, Alex Leafcrunch, or just Leafcrunch on Tumblr, who asks, in honor of Brooks, please assign a Sex and City girl to each of the Pegotverse podcasts.
Wow.
How many Pegotverse podcasts are we counting here?
I
Like,
was gonna say,
Can we
are
just say all the Brooks podcasts? Because that's already like, what, 4?
Yeah, depending on which ones you count.
I was gonna say, are we counting, Fantastic Satisfaction?
Right, which is a real deep Brooks pull.
I read the deep lore of the Brooks.
Like, Fantastic
OSB
Satisfaction
universe.
is the friend that showed up and said, "Hey, Samantha, you can get ass fat in your face," and then leaves.
And then I was like, are we including Carry Me Home? Because then that's Pegotverse.
It's Pegotverse, but I have not
That is
yet made my...
Pegotverse.
So what's the official list, Brooks?
Fucking, I don't know. I don't know these people well enough.
No, just tell us the shows we should count and what we shouldn't count.
Okay, you should
I will assign.
Okay, so you should, of course, post Game of Thrones, Yada Yada Boys, the JoJo one, Fun Point, the music one, and I think I've appeared more on HKIP than Fantastic Satisfaction, so we'll put HKIP in there too.
Okay, I think that's a good list.
Ooh, I think that throws me off then.
Now you're implicated.
Now I'm implicated. Okay, well, obviously, HKIP is Miranda then.
So that was my initial thought, but my initial thought was because Cynthia Nixon.
We literally talked about Cynthia Nixon on the show.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
But my other thought was that it's about politics, which is such a train wreck that makes it seem like a Carrie show to me, maybe.
the show Forum by Dumbasses, as it was previously called.
Because I was thinking Peacock could maybe be Miranda because it's kind of like the
Kind of a
look how
negative
bad-
one.
Yeah, it's like look how bad everything
True.
is about this.
Yeah.
I was
valid.
going to say Peacock could be Samantha because it has the most boobs and pussy.
That's fair.
Good point.
And then I was going to say Charlotte is Fun Point because she is creative. She works in an art gallery.
It's the most earnest, you know? It's maybe even naive at times.
True. She's a very genuine person.
Yeah, just like, okay, well, I'll listen to the Mars Volta. Okay. Like, that's just kind of, that's Charlotte
Yeah.
energy.
Uh-huh.
Charlotte definitely listens to My Chemical Romance.
Oh, yeah.
And then what would that leave Miranda for me? Yara Yara Boys. Because she's
I was thinking that might be Samantha because it's just like y'all are just having a good time talking about something you like. And
Yeah.
Samantha's just having a good time doing something she
Sure.
likes or people she
And
likes.
I mean, a big part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is sort of like making your body more enormous, like in the same way that like, you know, she wanted to put ass fat in her face, and like everybody on JoJo wants to be like the world's biggest living thing. So
I thought you were going to compare it to like a boner.
no, that's more of a Peagot vibe in terms of,
Yeah.
no, nobody fucks in JoJo. It's weird.
But I mean,
It's a really horny show, but nobody fucks.
and like literally it's about like a lineage. So someone has to have fucked, but not on screen.
Yeah, it's all like apocryphal. Like we don't know how these children keep on popping up. Because nobody, I mean, like
Fair.
Dio fucked twice, and that's it.
I mean, looking at Dio, you'd think he would have been fucked more.
Yeah, it's yeah. Dio is the sort of Mr. Pussy energy of where it's like you don't want to keep him around, you don't want to date him because he's an immortal vampire and he, you know, killed your grandpa and shit. But like, come on.
How could you not?
Mm-hmm.
He's hot. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big boy.
He is. He's got big boy energy.
It's big boy
It
season.
is big boy season. Get yourself an immortal vampire who killed your
Aw.
grandfather.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's truly my ideal boyfriend. That's why I'm still single. I'm too picky.
Mm-hmm.
Call the show Mr. Pussy's Bizarre Adventure.
The thing is, like, they would have like there would be like a villain that shows up and he's like, my name is Leonard Skinnerd and this is my stand, Mr. Pussy, and it wouldn't have anything to do with the vagina or like sex or anything like that. It would just be like a big sword, and it would be like, and everybody reading it would be like, yeah, for sure, got it. It's a great show.
It is. And the Peacockverse world of products is very good too.
Yeah, thank you, Leaf Crunch, for just letting me plug my shit for 5 minutes to an audience of people who might not give a shit.
They probably, if they don't already listen, I mean, I feel like, you know, we have family.
Yeah.
A large amount of our listeners come from the HKIP verse, and so they probably are at least aware of your works.
God, I hope so. Please help me keep making the numbers go up.
Yeah, donate to, we don't have a Patreon, so donate to Brooks.
In solidarity, donate to me and Eddie's Patreon instead.
They'll just PayPal us the money. It's fine.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
Yeah, totally. Next question is from Tumblr user Bielstack and Bloom, who asks, if the girls kinned SATC characters, but not themselves, who would they kin?
I hate this question so
That's a good one.
Me too. The word kin makes me want to like throw my phone across the room.
like, okay, I feel like I should probably not be so dramatic about it, considering the number of times I've said the words Homestuck, kin, and Riverdale in the same sentence in the last like month. But at the same time,
Truly, the test you put me under, Stephanie. Like, you know, I can't even watch nature programs. They say like kin. I'm like, ugh.
If you spell pussy with an IE at the end and you spell out the title, then Mr. Pussy is a valid troll name.
Oh wow.
It's the only thing I know about Homestuck. Thank you so much.
that's probably good. That's enough. You don't need to know any more about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything. There's like trolls and zodiac signs.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, who would they kin? I guess this is a hard question to answer because no fucking other character has ever been developed on the goddamn show.
Stanford Kin's Mr. Big, maybe.
You think?
I don't know. Stanford Kin's Carrie because he would get with Mr. Big? I don't know. There's not enough characters.
Stanford does kind of live a bit vicariously through Carrie, so fair. Carrie is a bit too self-absorbed, I think, to kin anyone but herself.
Carrie kins her shoes.
My brain is kind of just sputtering at this point. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know. This question is impossible. There's not enough characters.
There's truly, like, literally every single episode we get about 3 new characters and then they all disappear.
The only other characters we have established so far are the small dick man, Henry, Skipper, Mr. Big, and like that's
Skipper!
it. Those are the only recurring characters at this point. Like there's no one else that they could possibly be.
True, yeah.
I don't think we could say anything else about that.
No, yeah. I mean, thank you for listening and for interacting with us, but we really, you melted our brains a bit.
Just fucking don't know shit about kins, which maybe makes us smarter than anyone.
That's true.
This is. You need an 180 IQ to listen to Seagulls, mate. Do.
And you need like a 200 IQ to kin, or to know the lore of kin and how to kin. So we're not there yet. We need to watch more Rick and Morty.
No, right.
There.
Ben totally fucking would watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he would, and then he'd write. Maybe he draws like funny political cartoons or something. And one of them's, I don't know.
And it's like, this is the episode where Rick turns into a not pickle.
Oh no.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know, Bill Clinton? Does he draw a pickle Bill Clinton?
Oh, you know what? Skipper kins Chris Parnell. I can't remember his name in the show, but
Chris Parnell.
Oh. I was so mean to Chris Parnell. What's he done to offend you?
Well, just his character. I can't remember his character's name.
Gary? Greg?
I don't know, but he always plays an absolute imbecile. So
Yeah.
Skipper kins Chris Parnell's cartoon versions. So.
Yeah, you're right. Clint? I don't know. I could just look it
Right,
up, but I don't
it's
want
Jerry,
to.
I think. I'm not
Jerry.
sure.
I was close with Gary.
That was just a guess, but I think that's right. I've seen all of Rick and Morty. I should know this, but
Yeah, I've seen too much Rick and Morty for someone who hates it.
I need to edit
That's
that out.
going to be a same
No
for
one
me.
knows.
We're all guilty.
Uh-huh.
It will remain our secret. Last question is from friend of the show, artist of the show, guest of the show, Summer, aka Ghosty Princess on Tumblr, who asked, if you had a nickname based on your talent, what would they be?
Mr. Pussy. Nice
Ms.
question.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Miss Haymower?
Yes. I am like John Deere.
It took me a second.
Realistically, I have no talents except for reciting pi and singing the alphabet backwards. That's it. That's all I can do.
I'm a pretty good cook. I can cook food to make it taste nice. So you got that for you.
I can also sing the Element song. That's a talent, but it's not a very useful talent.
No. Unless you're trying to remember the elements.
It is part of my job.
That's true.
So
You got any talents, Brooke?
No, I have a high tolerance for hate watching things.
Okay.
So I could be like the gentleman hate watcher. Because like most of, when I'm drifting off into dreamland, I'm just like, I wonder what'll calm me down. I know, like season 3 Family Guy. And then,
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe Carrie was right. Maybe we're all freaks in our own ways.
That's pretty freaky. I don't know. If I was like dating a guy and I was like, hey, do you want to just chill out? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to hate watch Family Guy. I would bring it up at brunch with my friends.
No doubt. I would publish it in my nationally syndicated column.
I would let everyone know, 1, what my friend's boyfriend dick looks like, and 2, what weird stuff my boyfriend likes to do that isn't really harmful to anyone.
I feel like Ben from this episode would hate watch Sex in the City.
Oh.
You think he'd be like, you know how Sam the other day said that when he was a kid, he would watch Powerpuff Girls and like, because he was a boy and he had to hate girls, he wanted them all to lose, but really he just liked watching Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, I was big. Oh, the Rowdy Rough Boys, always cheering for them. Love that shit.
Yeah.
Love my boys.
There's some lads. There's some good lads.
Absolute units.
Do you think it's like that? Do you think he just genuinely likes Sex and the City, but he's like an obnoxious dude bro, and he's like,
nobody ever calls me Mr. Pussy.
no one ever calls me Mr. Pussy or Mr. Big.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, he would. And then he'd write some obnoxious column that's like, I'm a guy and I'm watching Sex and the City, and I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah, he'd go back to the fucking pickup artist subreddit where he came from and be like, oh, the knot trick didn't work, guys.
He'd be one of those guys who watches it to talk about it with girls in bars. He'd be like, oh my, actually, my ex got me onto Sex and the City, and I just really liked it. So even after we broke up, I still watched it. And people, I'm definitely a Samantha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel myself getting cynical. But I just don't like this guy.
No, I don't like him either.
Yeah.
No.
Less and less the more I think about him.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Even though there's nothing wrong with him, he's just annoying. he's just a little bit pretentious, but that's it. We're getting so jaded by this show.
I went to the actor's website yesterday just because I was curious if he was like a known actor or if he was just like the Mr. Pussy guy. And he's done like some commercials, and like he published a book about like his interest in war reenactment and shit. Like, he contains multitudes, but like all the comments on his website are just like, hey, I just watched your episode of Sex and the City. I love your character. I love Mr. Pussy, and I can't look at figs the same way again. And he's just like, thank you for visiting my website.
Oh, wow. So he is known as Mr. Pussy.
He's typecast.
If you're going to be typecast as anything, better than the opposite.
That's true.
In Kit Harington's Set for Life, so...
Wow. Truly, I mean, a double thank you for your service then.
True. That was our last question.
Yeah, that's the episode, really.
Sounds like an episode to me.
Yep.
So where can we find you, Brooks?
Yeah.
You can, we thank you again, Leaf Crunch. You can find me on Twitter at Brooks as a noun, and you can also find me at one of my 1 million podcasts. Post Game of Thrones or Fun Point or Yada Yada Boys are usually the ones that I'm on a lot. And the most recent episode of Post Game of Thrones, which is pretty old, is about 2.5 hours of us talking about Jon Snow third basing his aunt. So if that's something you're interested in, come check it out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I do have to say, I'm excited for... I'm excited for Game of Thrones to end, but I'm also excited for Peagot to return.
Me too. In preparation for this episode, I have like a couple of like cunnilingus metaphors that I didn't get a chance to slide in, so I'm just gonna tuck those away, just in preparation for the numerous times that Jon Snow will do it in the remaining 6 episodes of Game of Thrones.
I want to hear him.
I'm glad we've been of some use.
It was an illustrative experience for me. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, you're very welcome, and
Best of luck, honestly.
If you ever want to come back and help us out, then you're more than welcome.
I would be
to
delighted.
Return.
I think that HBO probably actually stands for like huge big oral or something.
Yeah.
It seems to be the consistent thread that holds all the shows together.
It's not the Westworld theory.
Uh-huh.
The Westworld theory is bullshit. It's oral sex. It's a string running through the shows.
Not even just oral sex, though. It's cunnilingus, so...
I hated the episode of Last Week Tonight where John Oliver just talked about how to eat good pussy for 30 minutes.
Giving us the information we all need to know in 2018.
That would honestly be a good episode, though.
We'd watch it.
It would be informative, at least.
Yeah, I would watch it.
Exactly. Be good for ratings. HBO, hire us. We have experience with HBO shows, like all 3 of us. So,
yeah.
Stephanie, where can we find you? I don't know. You seem to always go first anyway, so I'm just going to ask you to go first.
It's true. I kind of just go for it. And then I always forget where I am. You can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish, and you can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island.
Great. And I'm not on Twitter, so you can only find me on Tumblr, and I'm Dork Phoenix.
You can find us on Twitter at citygirlsmakedo, as well as if you want to email us, citygirlsmakedo@gmail.com.
And that's the episode. So thank you everyone for listening. We will see you next week, and it will just be the dynamic duo.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.